Hello, everyone. Is anyone there? Hello. Ah, hi, Keith. I'm going to look right now. Should get my eyeglasses out for this. Ah, thank you. Just put my first video short out today, and those ants need to sub up. Oh my goodness! So you started a channel today? Got your first video up? All right, I'm subbing. Thank you. All right, click view channel. Oh, that is so cool. Oh my goodness. Wow. You painted that? Wow, Pete, that was amazing. I don't think I got a comment now. I can type correctly. Did it take, if you're still there, for Purple, that's what I figured when it said tribe. I figured it was Purple Tribe, and it looked familiar. I'm pretty sure I've seen it on his lives. And if it's not like sometimes in the background, I'm pretty sure he showed it off. Did it take a long time to make? I mean, obviously, it probably took a long time to create the painting. I do paint. I don't paint this in this style though. But did it take? I'm curious if it took a long time to like edit the video into a short. I've thought about filming the next piece that I'm going to be painting. I want to paint a scene from Cappadocia, which is located in Turkey, the fairy caves that are there. And I have behind this bookshelf here, I have this probably a 3 foot by 3 foot canvas. And the canvas is blank right now, and it's on my wall in front of my desk because I need to pencil it out before I start painting it. And I really want to do it in oil, but I'm probably going to end up doing it in acrylic. Yeah, I was gonna guess that it was going to take at least 2 hours. Probably would take me 4 or 5. I'm really poor at editing personally. But that was great. I was very impressive. And I'm not just saying that, like it really is cool. Sometimes I get hooked on watching art channels. They're very inspiring. So congratulations. You already have like 6 comments and like 9 thumbs up for your first one. That's good. I'm not going to be doing a long live stream today. I'm tired. Maybe, I don't know. Right now I'm doing a lot of pours, like pouring on canvas. But I want to get back to doing like brush work. I don't think, oh, let me see. Let me see if I can grab my sketchbook. I might have something. Let's see. What I've been looking for and I cannot find is a sketch that I did of Johnny Depp. I was so proud of my sketch of Johnny Depp, and I have misplaced it during a move. So this is the only thing that I really would want to show right now. Oh, I don't know if you can see. So that's one sketch. I don't think there's anything else in this book that I like. Nothing else. Thank you. Yeah, the guy that I just showed is he plays the character Damon Salvatore on the show Vampire Diaries. I think his actual name is like Ian Somerhalder. He's got these really intense eyes and this really nice, strong jawbone. And he's just got that classic bad boy attitude that girls just flock to. Well, most girls. And so that's why I drew him. Thank you. Are there any writers in here? Otherwise, we're not going to be doing any writing. We're just going to talk about art and prepping. Oh my goodness. Speaking of prepping, if Milkmaid or Ghost, I don't think they know that I have a channel. I usually don't tell anybody that I have a channel. But if they knew that my canner is still in the box, they would probably like have a conniption fit. I need to start canning. You getting something to eat? Yeah. All right, so I see that there's a whole bunch of people watching, and like Keith is the only one that's saying hello. Anyone else here? Anyone else want to say hello while I'm live? I'm not going to be live long. I'm tired. All right, so for whoever's here, I was going to make a video about this, and I might make a video about it, but since I'm live, I'm just going to talk about it. So I work, right? And I work in an environment where like lucky dames. Okay, that makes sense. That makes me want to sign out and like go watch her, but I'm already here. So I'll run for a little bit. And then if she's still streaming, I'll watch. And if not, I'll have to watch the replay. But anyway, so today at work, my boss had asked me what my name was. She needed to look me up in the computer for something. And so where I work, it's not an office, it's a building, kind of like a warehouse. And so she asked me what my name is. She couldn't remember my last name, so I say it, and it's a Spanish last name, and I roll the R. I do the whole, when I say the name. And so I hear in the background, and I'm only like maybe 20 feet away from the other ladies, and one I'm not very familiar with, and I hear the word gringa. So I'm the only American-born person working there, you know? So obviously they're talking about me. And so I didn't know exactly what she said. And then because she's talking in Spanish and my ears just perked when I heard gringa. And so, oh my goodness. So I stood there next to my boss for a second and I listened. And basically what she was saying was that for a gringa, like this new girl, this gringa, she sure does have a Spanish name. And I paused for a second because I didn't know what to do. Because here, like they're talking behind my back, assuming that I don't understand what they're saying, right? Which is very common here in Miami. If somebody thinks that you don't speak Spanish, they assume that you're just your typical gringa, you don't know any Spanish. They're going to talk about you behind your back. So I didn't know what to do. So I paused for a moment and then I walked back around this little, it wasn't even a corner. Like, anyway, I'm dragging this out. So I confronted her and I said, you're absolutely right. You know, for a gringa, can you imagine? I mean, isn't it weird that I have like a Colombian last name and a first name, right? Because like Hava is not my real name. I think everybody knows that it's my pen name. So, and she looked at me like I didn't understand what I was saying. And so I said my first name and I said it in the Colombian way of saying, because even my first name is actually a surname or a surname, last name in Colombia. And so when I said my first name with the correct pronunciation of Colombians and also my last name, which is also Colombian, she looked at me and she just had this like blank stare, like she was flabbergasted that I was like able to not, I don't want to say call her out, because it wasn't like I was calling her out and being like, yo, bitch, why are you talking about me? Because what's the point? You know, I was just trying to make light of it. And I did go and say, like, you know, by the way, like my heritage or my nationality is American. Like I am American, you know, that is, but like ethnicity, like my family immigrated here from Europe. So I went back to work because she was actually in my space. So she left, so I had my space back. And I'm thinking, I was starting to get a little bit agitated. And I don't even know what her name was. And it was just a few minutes later that somebody called her name. And her name was Gretel, which I actually like that name. I think it's a great name. But it's like, she's from Honduras. It's not something that most women from Honduras would be named. And I just thought it was interesting how she was like kind of picking on me for being a gringa with a Spanish name, but yet she also doesn't have one that's native for her country. And she wasn't speaking about me in Spanish in a nice way. Like it was kind of like putting me down, you know? So that was my moment today at work. But I don't have any like, ill feelings towards her. You know, I said hello and I talked to her a little bit throughout the day, and you know, but it's like, you know, I should be used to it, and I guess I am used to it, but I still don't like it. Like, you know, I don't know. I just don't like it when people talk about other people behind their back. I don't think it's cool. And I probably should have said that, but I didn't. Is anyone here? Does anybody want to sprint? I'm going to give it about 5 more minutes, and then I will jump onto someone else's live stream. So if you're still in chat, Keith, are you working on any new painting? Or is there a new project or anything that you're working on or that you want to work on? Don't be shy, all you lurkers. At least say hello. I swear I'm friendly most of the time. Have a few I'm working on. Do you want to share? I'm curious. Are you working on any projects for any other creators, any other preppers or any other creators, or just personal stuff? I'm going to assume that you sell your artwork just based on the quality from that one piece that I saw. I've only sold one painting, at least that I can remember. It was a painting of a sunset. And what was really cool is at the time I was a therapist and I painted the sunset, and it wasn't a very large painting. I want to say it was maybe 2 feet wide, 2 feet long, 2 feet wide. I don't know. It was, but anyway, I took it to the office and I don't know why, because it wasn't even dry. It was oil. I hung it up, and it was either one of the first few patients I had in that day. She wanted to buy the painting and she offered me $100 for it. And I was like, okay, it's still wet and it's going to take probably a few weeks to dry. I probably brought it to the office because at the time I also had a farm and I had a whole bunch of dogs and cats, and I didn't want it like risk getting like, hair in the painting when it was finally finished. But it was very textural. And so yeah, she bought the painting. I never saw her again. It was the weirdest thing. Hi, JH556. Welcome. I do custom art. So I do what people want. I do sell, but it's a slow business. I know it is. It is. It's kind of like writing. I mean, any kind of art form. Hi, Alice. I remember you from last year. How are you? You just got your editing done for the day. Oh, well, thank you for popping in. That's what I'm doing this year. I am a Nanowrimo rebel. My first year ever. It makes me really feel like a fake, but my plot bunnies were kind of dark and I didn't want to go there. And then this new friends to lovers idea that I had, I just wasn't sure about the female character. And there was just something that I didn't have all the pieces put together yet. So I was like, forget it. And I really liked my story from last year. And I haven't touched it. And I really procrastinate when it comes to editing and revising and all that kind of stuff. And so I figured, you know what, might as well just do it this year. So I am rebelling it. Keeping busy. Yep. Yep. That's good. How much more editing do you have to do? Are you is it your current, are you editing like whatever you're drafting? Are you drafting and then editing, or are you editing a project from a previous year or season? Got a notification. Keith, thank you for the heart. I wish your channel much success. Oh my goodness. You have 8 chapters to go. It's 3 years old and I keep messing with it. Yeah. I can kind of relate and I can kind of not relate. I don't think I've ever had a manuscript that I've messed with a whole bunch. I mean, sometimes I'll go back to a manuscript and I'll work with it a little bit, but I have the oldest manuscript that's full, like a complete draft, or second draft, third draft, however you want to call it, but it still needs work, is from either 2016 or 2017. I don't remember which, but that was the one that I started writing or researching about in 2012. So it took me years before I even wrote it, because there's so much science and mythology and stuff, and it's huge, and there's no way it can be just one book. And so even though the first part, like I guess if it's 3 books, if it's a trilogy, like that first book, book 1 would be done, as far as the story, but it still needs to be like line edited, proof, line edits, all that kind of stuff. It still needs to be cleaned up. And then the one that I wrote in, let's see, was it 2019, the one about the virus? I don't even want to look at it. It just got too dark with everything going on. I don't want to look at it. So I'm right now dedicating my time to doing my fun enemies to lovers from last year. And I knew that I enjoyed writing it, and I remember the process of writing it and having all these emotions and really feeling like the characters. And like there's a point in the story where my character did something that she was not supposed to do. Like it threw a complete and total wrench in my outline. And I had like outlined this book. I had outlined it. I knew every single thing that was going to happen. And obviously I was the one typing it, but like as I was typing it and I'm in the moment and they're there and they're, whatever, she does something that I did not see coming. And oh my goodness. And I don't want to get rid of it, because it just seems like that it's totally her. And then his reaction later on, like days later, is good. And I like his commentary about the way that she behaved. But I don't know. I just wanted to save what happened for later on in the story. But she had a mind of her own, and it's when they say that your characters sometimes have a mind of their own and they do their own thing, it's so true. Yes, I do. I love discovery writing. The first book that I wrote was a very detailed outline, as far as like the main beats. The virus one, it was just I had this really weird dream about an infection. From the dream I kind of worked it for it to be a virus, and that was pretty much full discovery, and it was so amazing. And even though it spanned like hundreds, if not over 1,000 years, and I wanted to push it further, like into the future. So like you're starting like in the Justinian age and you're going like 50 to 100 years out into the future. So with that novel, I didn't want there to be such huge gaps in time, and I don't want to write like a 400,000 word novel. So I was thinking of putting in a narrator to kind of like, for those time jumps, and kind of just give like a synopsis of what happened, because I do weave in like historical fiction, or not historical facts, and fictionalize them. So that's what I want to do with that one. And then with this one, the Friends to Lovers, it was also outlined, but just the main beats. And the discovery writing is I love it. But I also have had times though, where I start a project with nothing, and it just goes down, and I get to like maybe chapter 4, maybe 15,000 words in or something, and it just like tanks. But that was probably back in 2010 when I was doing mainly just discovery writing. And then I did some plotting, a lot of research, some plotting, and then the one with just discovery I am having fun. The editing part is very the editing and revising for me personally, like for my own work, is extremely daunting. I procrastinate. It's terrible. Like if you have any tips, Alice, I would greatly appreciate any tips. Um, I teach creative writing. I haven't been this year yet, but I've been asked to teach again come January. So I may teach, it'll just be one class once a week. So, but like when I edit my students' work, because again, it's creative writing, so it's not like it's a structure that has to be followed. Um, it's not a language arts program that is just strict on you have to meet every, what's the word I'm looking for? Oh my goodness. Every rule. It's like the students are allowed to break rules. If they want to, use British spelling, they can do that. If they want to, throw in another language, or whatever. Story beats. Hi, Bonnie. Good to see you back. How are you doing today? But yeah, so when it comes to editing, I was just telling Alice, because she just finished her editing for today, that I really struggle with the editing. It intimidates me. It's like it for myself. I don't know what it is. I love editing other people's work. I like giving feedback. And I don't mean like critical feedback, like oh, this is bad, you need to change it or anything. I don't ever try to be mean about it or be harsh. Congratulations. You met your nano goal this morning. I'm so glad you popped in. That was very sweet of you. Thank you. Language fusion. Yeah. So they have a lot of creative leeway. And so, yeah, right? It feels good, right? It does feel good. It feels so good, like when you have a goal and you meet that goal. And I have experienced that with not just obviously with writing, but also with editing for this nano. And Bonnie says thank you to Alice. You guys are sweet. It feels good. I mean, I printed out 15,000 of I have about 60,000 words. So I've printed out 15,000 and I might have gone through 5,000 at this point, and I've revised and edited and all that stuff. So I do feel proud of myself for doing that, but I still feel so incredibly intimidated. I don't know why. Maybe because it's not as much fun, but then parts of it are very fun though, because you get to read the story, right? And then like you're reading, and like some of it's really, really great. And like when you're reading something that's really great and you're like, wow, I can't believe I actually wrote this. And of course there's other parts, and I'll see if I can find it and I'll pull it up here. And there's other parts and I'm like, oh my goodness, this was terrible. How could I ever write this? Or why did I write this? This makes no sense. JH556. It always feels good to meet your goals. Absolutely. Absolutely. That is so true. But there's this section, oh my goodness. I love water and I love waterfalls. But there's this, I put a note before I printed this out. I'm going to show it to you. I did this yesterday, but I know there's more new people here today. Let's see. Waterfall sucks balls bad. Like when I was okay, this is how, okay, I'm going to totally embarrass myself here. Okay, you guys think the word moist is bad? I think everybody and their mother hates the word moist. Okay, I walk to the magical door of wet, which sustains life. That does not even sound like a waterfall. Oh my goodness. And to prove how bad that was, like, it's, well, I think it's there. A magical door of wet, which sustains life. I mean, that sounds like a body part. It doesn't sound like a waterfall. Like, oh my goodness. Like was I just trying to get word count in last year? I mean, that's terrible. So it's like, oh my goodness, revising is like, oh my goodness, like some of it's so great, and then other parts you just like cringe. You're like, oh my goodness, I can't believe I actually did that. Bonnie, I feel like that way when thinking about giving it to others to be or to critique, intimidated. I have only given a few chapters of one manuscript for others to read. And this was a book that I wrote back in 2016, 17, the one that I spent like 5 years researching before I started writing it. And okay, so and Alice agrees. She feels the same way. She feels intimidated. So everybody liked the story. Everybody liked the story so far, but when it came to chapter 4, and I think that was the last chapter, I'd given them like 1 through 4. And 4 is where there's like this meeting of different species of living beings. And they said there are too many characters introduced in that chapter. But it was like there was a battle. So everyone recommended that I rewrite it or break it up, into smaller chapters. But breaking up into smaller chapters isn't going to change anything if it's a battle and everybody's kind of like, I don't know how to explain it. So I don't know. I got overwhelmed with that one. Gotta go. See you next time. Thank you so much for stopping by, Alice. So good to see you again. I remember you from last year. So thank you again. Have a great evening. Bonnie writes, I walked to the rushing waves of water trying to sneak in the crevice that hid underneath the overflow. Oh, that's actually nice. Can I steal that, Bonnie? Do I have your permission to pirate your comment? I actually like that. JH writes, me too, Hava. Is I could be in or around water. I am. We have fountains all over the house in the winter. I just stare out the window at the fountain on the pool, waiting for swim season. Oh my goodness. Speaking of swim season, we just got our pool finished. I haven't even like gone in there. My kids have gone in there. My husband's been in there. My mom's been in there. And they all say that it's freezing. So I think what I'm going to do is put on my suit one day soon, and film it and put it up on my channel. And I'll just see how cold it is. I'll like hold my nose and jump in. Take, please. All right. I'm going to write that down really quick. I'm going to put your name on it so I know where it comes from. But I got to find the waterfall sucks balls bad page. Okay, here it is. Okay. I walked to the rushing of water, trying to sneak in the crevice that hid underneath the overflow. Messy writing, but it is written down. Thank you. Hey, Bug Dude. Welcome. Right? The magical door. Like, oh my goodness. How can I ever live that down? I won't delete the live stream. So if anybody watches far enough into it, they hear that sentence that I wrote. I mean, so inappropriate. Oh my goodness. What you doing, Bug? Bonnie, do you want to write? Do you want to write anything? I think you're probably the only writer right now currently in chat. If you want to write. Yes, I know. Worse than moist. When you think there couldn't be a word any worse than moist, I put wet into a sentence and it's done. I ruined the word. I am no Shakespeare. But actually what you wrote, Bonnie, is great because my main character wants to like stay away from the other main character because they're still enemies and they're on this little trip together and they have to play nice, and she's trying to like avoid him. So like this is like the way that you wrote it was like perfect. Oh my goodness, Jen, what's up? How did you find me? All right, so since this is a Nanowrimo live stream, we are going to sprint. All right. What time do you have to cook? How much time do you have? I've been up since 4 o'clock this morning. Keith, no, it's not too early. In fact, okay, I have a lot of self-control. I am surrounded by liquor at my job and when I start work. So just to let you know, I wait till I get home. You've been up since 6. I would think that 6 would be early for me. I don't know how I'm surviving getting up at 4 in the morning for work. I've been self-employed for so many years. This is the first time I've worked for someone else since it's been like 19 years since I was pregnant with my daughter. That was the last time, and before I even had her, I was I became self-employed while I was pregnant. All right, so all right, Ryan, Bonnie, we're gonna go ahead and sprint. So we will do a 15-minute sprint. I spell starting at 5 EST. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and put myself on mute. So for everybody that is in the prepper and homesteading community, thank you very much for stopping in. If you want to stay and chat, you're more than welcome to. For any lurkers out there, check out some of them in chat. Oh, many of them have some really, really great channels. So give them a look. Yep. All right, I'm going to go ahead and mute and start our sprint. All right, time's up. Ah, Northern Girl. You're canning ghee today. That's awesome. That is on my list. I still have to get my canner out of the box. It's been in the box since July. That isn't that terrible? How'd you do, Blondie? I see that you're using dictation. I gotta scroll up. Oh my goodness, Pilgrim popped in here. Hutch popped. Oh my, you what? Okay, so hello again to Northern Girl, Bug, Keith, Northern Girl again, Keith, Pilgrim. Oh my goodness, you guys. Hutch, right? Oh my goodness, right? Pilgrim. I haven't seen Pilgrim. Where's Pilgrim been? Pilgrim, where have you been? You're probably not here anymore, but I have not seen you around. Like, no, I did see you, I think, a few nights ago, or maybe it was even last week. Sorry. I'm just like, I don't even know what day it is right now. But I remember you got rid of your hair. I remember that. Right, Northern Girl? Oh my goodness. Yes. All right. So, in case you're watching this, Bonnie, I got to scroll back down. We have been talking about this guy, Keith. He just posted his very first video today, and it is a short, and it's him showing his artwork. So he's showing how he created this piece for Prepper Tribe. So Prepper Tribe had this artwork done, and SKM Keith is the one that did it, and now Keith has a video up. I was very impressed. Wow, 533. That's awesome. That's a lot of words. Dictation helps. That's true. That is so true. Oh my goodness. That is so true. I love and hate dictation. It is this actually last year was the best experience that I had with dictation. There are a few things that I don't know exactly what I actually meant, and I could tell that my speech probably wasn't on point, but for the most part, it's cool. Oh, you're gonna for that one, Hutch? I ruined the word moist. That's what I did. Everyone hates in the writing community. Everybody hates the word moist. It is like the worst word to use, and I completely ruined it by using a different word. Like there is a word that is worse than moist, and I put it in a sentence, and it was horrific. But Miss Bonnie, I'm gonna click her right here. Miss Bonnie, being Bonnie, allowed me. I asked for some advice, and she wrote a very, very lovely sentence to replace the trash that I had written. So that is what you missed. So what are you working on, Bonnie? I don't know if I had asked you that yesterday. And I'm sorry that I don't have a timer. I think you wanted a timer up. I will eventually figure that out. Maybe this weekend. Well, I work Saturday. I don't work Sunday or Monday. So I will try to get a timer up. I don't think I missed anybody in chat. If I did, I apologize. Fantasy adventure story. Okay. All right, so Bonnie, forgive me if I'm wrong. I could be totally wrong. If it's not you, I'm sorry. But were you the one yesterday? Because I don't know if it was you or Nikki. It was one of the two of you. One of you wanted to work out a battle scene. Was that you? Do I sell my books? No, because I am a chicken, Northern Girl. I am a big fat chicken. I am so intimidated. And it's honestly, I'm not even it was Nikki. Okay, thank you. No, I don't have anything ready to sell. That is why I'm being a rebel this year. Normally in November, I draft a new story, start to finish. Minimum goal is 50,000 words. But this year I didn't have any I didn't have anything solid, and I really liked my story from last year, and I absolutely hate editing. So I decided for this Nano, I was going to be a rebel, and I was going to revise and edit my book and try to get it out close to Christmas. That might be too close. That might be too short of a time span. It depends on how much time I have and dedicate to it. It's not what I normally write. I normally write like adventure, paranormal, dystopian, and kind of dark stuff. But last year, because in 2019 I wrote a novel about a virus, and it got really, really dark at the end. Like maybe we could do a live one day about it, but it went really dark, and I didn't want to revisit it. So last year I want to do something light. So I did a friends to lovers romance, which I always write a little bit of romance, but this is like full on romance, pining, anticipation, longing, desire, all that kind of stuff. So I don't know. Will you read them at some point on here? Well, I did. I did write. I did. I read something, and thankfully, Miss Bonnie here with a whole 8,853 words so far for the week. She fixed the total terrible, disgusting, foul sentence that I'd written. And I'm just going to say it again because most of y'all probably aren't going to rewind to the beginning and watch it. Oh, okay, I'll share it. I'm going to read the sentence first. So you have something like, I'll give you something really bad. Like you want the good news or the bad news first, right? I'm going to give you the bad news first. This is my bad sentence. I walk to the magical door of wet, which sustains life. That is how I just ruined the word moist, because we all thought nothing could be worse than moist. And I write magical door of wet. What the fuck? Okay, so, all right, so Keith wants me to show off the sketch that I did. I swear, when I wet for waterfall, maybe that's what I was thinking. Maybe it was, thank you, Bonnie. Bonnie's coming to my rescue, y'all. Maybe that's what it was. You know, I probably was using dictation. I probably should say that. I should just like cover myself, right? Like there's like a Cuban saying like the guayabas are falling, like, you know, like you're saying a lie, so you cover yourself. No, it could have been a dictation, very possible, but considering how clean the rest of the sentence is, I'm pretty sure that I wrote magical door of what. So anyway, all right, so this is the, let's see if you guys can see. And that is him. And as I had mentioned before, I had told Keith this. It is thank you. I really need to find my Johnny Depp photo, or not photo, the sketch that I did of Johnny Depp. I was so proud of Johnny Depp's sketch that I took it out of my notebook, and when I moved, I don't know where it went. And like I tend to like if something is like really, really valuable or precious, specifically like sentimentally, like I'll hide it, right? I can't find it. I don't, and like I love Johnny Depp, right? I think he's such a talented actor. But anyway, this guy that you guys just saw that I sketched out, he plays the character Damon Salvatore on the Vampire Diaries. Ian Somerhalder, I believe, is his name, his real name. But he's just a badass vampire with a heart of gold, and the bad boy that everybody wants. Thank you, Bonnie. Thank you, Northern Girl. It's so weird to have so many of y'all in chat, man. I appreciate y'all coming in. I have my ancestors to I mean, obviously first God. God is the first person I'm going to give thanks to and gratefulness to for any kind of talent that I have in any way, shape, or form. Not just art, but just like anything at all. But I'm also very thankful that I have artistic parents and I've had artistic grandparents. Draw Hutch. Maybe if I get a squirrel t-shirt, I'll draw Hutch. Maybe. Or maybe he has to grow his beard. Like his community thing today, his post today. Anyway, Bonnie, do you want to do another sprint? Oh, I was thinking just the face. I could do just feet though. I could do feet. I'm not like into feet or anything, but it would be funny just to see like. But then I feel like that'd be like almost like a Bigfoot thing because like that's his channel name, Bigfoot. So I don't know. I'd rather do Hutch's face. There's something about his face that I like. Justin, yo, what's up? Slept half the day away, so busy now, having to finish and send my story before the book begins. Will be totally wasted tomorrow evening. I can't be wasted, even if I wanted to be. I can't. Like, I had 2 glasses of wine last night, and I mean, I felt like a little bit of a buzz, but I struggled to get to bed, and it was like really hard getting up this morning. I just kept hitting snooze. Maybe Saturday night. I don't know. Maybe I can catch a cool live Saturday night and like be up. Sure, might be a 5K day dictating. My hands aren't even tired. Ain't got no beard though. Pfft. Hutch. All right, Justin, are you ready to do a sprint? Bonnie's ready. And I know Hutch is ready. He doesn't have any shoes on. He's going to be running around. Now, y'all, I will say this. You guys should check out, I've already mentioned SKM Keith's channel. I just call him Keith, but you should go over. He just posted his first video today, and it's about his artwork. And so you can see it's a short. It's like I don't know, 20 seconds maybe at the most. It was actually too short in my opinion, but it was great. But look at his artwork. But also go to Hutch Homestead. I don't know exactly which video it was. And Hutch, if you're in here and you want to throw up a link, go ahead and do that. But he carved and then stained these gourds, and they're absolutely beautiful. So if you're in here, Hutch, if you want to throw up that link, go right ahead. But it's beautiful. All right, Justin is ready. Yes, Bonnie, you're right. Why? Okay. Where to go? Okay. Wrench holders can do that. All right, Northern Girl, thank you so much for stopping by. All right, I'm going to go ahead and set the timer for 15 minutes, and we'll start now. I'm muting. What was that? How did everyone do? I could have used another 5 minutes on that one. That sentence that I just was going over makes no sense whatsoever. I had to read it like 3 times. And it made my brain hurt. Good job, Bonnie. How many more do you have to go to a 5K day? Go, Bonnie. Go, Bonnie. Go, Bonnie. Yes, we are back. And I had a terrible sentence right as the bell rang. I had to read it like 3 times, and it's like, what? I don't know how many words I've ever written, like the most. I want to say the most that I've ever written in a day was somewhere, and I know this is a big jump, but it was like somewhere between like 7 and 10K, but it was all dictation. Bonnie's going to check. Are you there, Justin? Justin from Denmark, where are you? So for those of you that are listening in chat, let me see if I can pull up this terrible sentence. Well, a series of sentences. I feel like a fish out of water. Okay, so what I'm reading, this is written in first person narrative. So it's first POV, right? First person narrative. So I write, so this is coming from the protagonist, the main character. It's a girl. I feel like a fish out of water that has been needing the water only to be thrown into a pond with a vicious piranha. I'm the fish, he's the piranha, and the campsite is a pond, and I'm sinking into mud. I want to throw mud. I am the mud. Like, oh my goodness. See, this is why I hate editing. That's why I hate editing, because sometimes it's like, you read what you've written, and it's like, 2068. Yeah, it's 5K would be a stretch there. So 293 so far for today. That's good. It's still a lot though. It's still like, that's more than double, what it's supposed to be. That's cool. You're here, Justin. You're occupied cutting words. I just cut some words on that last one. Yeah, totally agree. Dictation helps so much. That's how I was able to pull out those like 7 or 10K days. But again, that was also me like spending most of the day dictating. Or if I was really lucky and I was like really feeling the groove of the writing, then I could just like talk a mile a minute, and as long as I could articulate and pronunciate well, and the dictation would capture and translate it onto the page correctly, then it would be like super great. I'm glad you feel accomplished, Bonnie. That's such a good feeling. You're grooving. I'm about ready to wrap it up. Do you guys want to do one more sprint for the evening? One more sprint. And then I'll probably do another live tomorrow, and again, possibly on Saturday, but definitely Sunday and Monday I'll do some longer ones because I'm not working on those days. But if you want to do another sprint for cutting some words, Justin, and Bonnie, if you want to get some more words in, let me know. Nikki says yes. How did you do on that last one, Nikki? I know there's a little bit of a lag. I'm just curious how your writing is going today. Thanks for the sprints. Oh, you're welcome, Bonnie. I sprint at 11 a.m. during the week if you are ever free then. I'm actually free on Mondays. I don't work on Mondays during the week. Is your channel Bonnie Being Bonnie? And I needed to ask Nikki also if her channel is Nicole C. Swanson. I still haven't looked it up. After the live yesterday evening, I poured my wine, I drank my wine, and I went to bed. So I'm not going to pretend like I looked for channels when I didn't, because I didn't. All right, so Bonnie Being Bonnie is Bonnie Being Bonnie. And so is Nicole. All right, so let me write them down. All right, so 11 a.m. All right. All right, so what I'm going to do after this live, I don't know, Justin, I don't know if you have a channel, Justin, at all. If so, let us know. But I'll go ahead and sub to both of your channels. That way I get notifications when you guys do your live streams. I will look for a previous post or a previous video or short or something on your channel. And if you don't see me comment, let me know on the next stream, because it could just mean that I didn't find your channel for some reason. You're welcome. Cool. I was going through some comments my cousin made at all. Gave me 3 or 4 extra words. Oh well. Isn't that great when like family helps? Thank you so much for joining, Keith. And keep up that artwork, really. Like I'm not even kidding. I'm so inspired. I'm so like now I want to do more artwork. I see I don't have time for everything that I want to do. No channel, no Facebook, not even a mobile phone. But that's okay. You can be here with us. I was just asking. I didn't want to leave anybody out. But you are in a really cool cabin in Denmark. I mean, that's picturesque. Just the description that you shared with me yesterday. You know, it's like that's beautiful. Hello, Hutch. All right. So we're gonna go ahead and do a 10-minute sprint for this last one of the evening. All right. 5:55. Good question, Nikki. I assume he has a laptop or some kind of. Obviously, he's got some type of something to be able to get online. All right. 10-minute sprint. 5. All right, I'm going to go ahead and set my timer. If you can still hear me, Justin, Nikki is asking you a question in chat, and I'm setting my timer now for 10 minutes, and I'm putting myself on mute. Get your words in, guys, and cut those words if you need to. How did everybody do? It's especially for hiking and expeditions, and I like hiking and riding outdoors. Bought it from an Italian shop. I wrote it down. I'm going to look into it. Not that I'm going to buy it. I don't need one right now. You doubt that they made many? Maybe not. You know, that's kind of the way it is. Like sometimes, or not sometimes, often when there's something that's really, really well made, like artisan made, it might be around for a while. I mean, there are a few things that are still artisan made that I buy. One is a sandal, actually. They're called Piper sandals, Piper. I want to say they're located in Texas, but they're handmade. And the first pair I got like 19 years ago, and they're still great. And I have like two or three other pair now. So they're great. But usually, like there was this other lady that used to do sandals, I think from Australia. I had bought in several pair, maybe like 10 years ago. And I've looked for her and I can't find her anywhere. And I loved her sandals. I thought they were very, very well made. You ended up doing some reading that time. Well, that's all right, Nikki. And, reading is inspiring. And sometimes, at least for me, and everyone's different. And I think it could probably also vary depending on what one is writing, why they're writing what they're writing, even their day. Thank you for popping in, Hutch. I appreciate it. Maybe I'll see you in a chat later on. Have a good night. Hey, Bug. But I remember when I first completed my first manuscript, I slept for like a month. I even wrote to my brother. Or maybe I called him, and he's in Germany, and he's a published author. He's my youngest brother. He's like published somewhere between 8 to 10 works. And I asked him, I'm like, is this normal? Like like my husband doesn't even want me to write anymore because all that I wanted to do was sleep for like a month. And of course I didn't sleep for a whole month. I had kids and I was teaching and I had things to do. But, and that was something that I wasn't doing back then. I wasn't doing anything to just have some like downtime. I wasn't really reading much. And I know that I was watching some international films because I love watching international films, but you got to do that self-care. And now I don't get as exhausted when I write. So anyway, that was me. I don't know if I said hello again to you, Bug. I hope I'm going to be wrapping up here in just a couple minutes. We just finished our last sprint for the evening. But maybe I'll see you in chat somewhere tonight. In 2019, I lost it among the rocks of the islands. Found it next morning at the bottom of the water. Still worked. Oh my goodness. Thank you, Justin. You guys are so friendly. I love that. Okay. I'm going to just wrap it up here with a story because Justin just made me realize why waterproofing a computer, I think, is so valuable. Okay, so here we've got Justin, right? He loses it. He doesn't lose it. He loses his laptop and he finds it on the bottom of a water puddle the next morning, and it's still working, and he's still using it. This was 2019. Okay. In 2019, right when I was done writing that stupid virus novel, not that it's stupid, it was a great novel. It just got dark, and I'm afraid to touch it. All right. So I spilled a little bit of water on my laptop. A little bit. It was, and I could just watch the little bead like roll, and I tried to with paper towel, and that's just what it was. It wasn't wine. It wasn't like anything else. No, it wasn't milk. It was just water, a couple drops. And my laptop shut off. Now I will say I was an idiot. I plugged it back in and because it was unplugged. I think it was unplugged, but it might have already been plugged in. I don't know. All that I know is I did plug it back in, and I killed my laptop. And I remember this because I put it in rice. I did the whole air dryer thing. I put it outside. I did all these different things trying to get my laptop to work. Thankfully, I had like saved the novel that I had written onto, like, I emailed it. I had Google Documents. I had hard copies printed out because I've already lost things before, and I had very little that I actually had to like reclaim or to rewrite because I had like backups. So anyway, yeah, you know, that's amazing, Justin. That's impressive. That is so impressive that it was on the bottom of a water puddle and it's still working. I believe it though. And some people say that mine would have worked if I would have let it dry out completely before plugging it back in. But I was an idiot. And I knew better. That's even worse. Are you there, Bonnie? How did you do, Bon, if you're there? I don't think I overlooked you. I'm looking though. All right, so tomorrow is Friday, right? Tomorrow's Friday. Nikki, you have a live stream tomorrow, don't you? At 3 Eastern Standard Time, right? What I may do, if you're here, just comment in chat just to confirm. What I'll probably do is I'll do like a warm-up live or something, right? Okay, okay. All right, so what I will probably do is when I get home from work, I'll need to change my shirt real quick. I won't do my I didn't do my makeup today or anything. And I probably will have my hair like this because this is how I wear it to work. I'll just throw my hair up in a bun if I need to, no, because I've already been in a bun. I didn't throw it back up today. So anyway, when I get home, I'll start a live and like a warm up, and then we'll pop over to yours, Nikki. How does that sound? That sound good? I don't know if you could hear me, Nikki. Did you hear my idea? That I would start one when I got home from work to like warm up, and then once yours started, we'd pop over to yours. You're welcome. Yeah, I like to be supportive. It's not all about me, you know? As far as I'm considered, we're here to support each other. All right, so I just found you, Nicole. I recognized your picture there. All right, so I just hit the notification for your channel. And I see that you did stream 6 days ago. So I'm going to comment real quick. I'll leave you a heart. And I'm going to thumbs up. Okay. All right, so I'm subbed, so I should get the notification. So if you don't or can't be, if you don't want to be or can't be in my live tomorrow as a warm-up because you need to prep for your own live stream, that's totally fine. I should get a notification because I hit the bell notifications on your channel. So anyway, you say cool. All right. Well, I'm going to call it an evening. I know we didn't go anywhere near as long as yesterday. I think yesterday was almost 4, but we're here almost 2 hours, so it was longer than I was expecting. I came in thinking maybe 45 minutes. So it was good. I got some good editing done. So, and I don't see Bonnie, so Bonnie must have jumped off. But Bonnie does have during the week at 11 a.m. I don't know what time it's at. I didn't ask her if it was Eastern Standard Time or not. I didn't ask her what's time specific, like time zone, but I'm going to be probably sprinting with her on Monday. All right. So yeah, it is awesome. Like, thank you, Justin. He says, thanks for the great sprint and chat. See you. Blessings. Blessings to you as well, Justin. Have a good evening. Sleep well. Don't lose that laptop again. All right. So good night, everyone. Thank you again for joining the live. It's definitely encouraging with everyone here and the camaraderie and seeing friends amongst friends and making new friends. It's wonderful. So again, have a good evening. I will see you tomorrow. Good night.